We can never forget the stories of the Second World War. I was 14 years old when I started learning about the war independently. Now I'm almost 29 and I still love learning about this chapter of history, this monumental 6 years of the human race. Well, I wish I was in Normandy right now, let's put it that way. Allied fighter aircraft to keep the Luftwaffe from getting over the beachheads. They acted as an umbrella, you could say. C-47s and Horsa gliders that brung the first paratroops in on D-Day to assault Point de Hoc and render the batteries useless, and to assault Pegasus Bridge. And a mighty fine job you guys did as well. The British 1st Airborne, 101 Screaming Eagles US, and 92nd Airborne, I think it was. These gliders and the tanks they carried, I know very little about them. I'm sure they took part in D-Day, and I think they took off from Turret Rush Airfield. B-26s, they bombed the beaches early on D-Day. The B-25s softened up defences behind the beach in the weeks leading up to the invasion. Orca Typhoons, very good at the Falaise Gap. Osterlers, they were artillery spotting aircraft, and a very, very good job them pilots did as well. Dummy tanks, just in case the Germans flew over. We have the duplex drive Shermans. 29 of those made it onto the beaches during D-Day 80 years ago. Unfortunately, quite a few sank in the heavy swells and the crews could not get out. These wading tanks, I know very, very little about them. Their exhausts, of course, were quite high, so the seawater wouldn't go in it and drown the engine. Valentine duplex drive. Well, there is one in private hands today. I've actually seen it and it does work. These, they had a fully trained diver in the crew so they could recover landing craft and tanks. A magnificent piece of kit. Flail tanks, they were used to detonate mines. I think this is a crane Churchill, I'm not too sure. Crocodile. If the Germans caught the crews, they would be executed on sight. They hated them weapons. This is a mortar. This would smash bunkers. Amazing piece of kit. Cromwell, big fan. Some of these had dummy barrels because they were command tanks. The D-Day Ducks, they brought supplies in. The RASC also had them. British, of course. There was quite a few half-tracks about on D-Day. These were known as Pumas. Really nice shape. Anti-tank guns, did they have these in Normandy or were they only on the Eastern Front? I don't know. Did Panthers take part during D-Day? Again, tell me in the comments if you know. These are amazing pieces of kit. These had anti-tank guns to smash the bunkers and soften up all of the other defences on D-Day. Don't know who thought that idea up, but amazing. I think these may have been known as Higgins boats, I'm not sure. These were British. You could also mount Lewis machine guns and Bren guns on them. You could also get a lot more troops in, and as you can see, they are armoured around the driver's compartment. So this is a landing ship tank. This is where all the vehicles would have been stored. Of course, Dennis Tippers there. You needed to rebuild roads and make airfields. Perfect vehicles. And you could fit a hell of a lot of lorries on there and just drive them straight onto the beach. Americans, eh? Amazing what they came up with. This is actually now in Chinese service. How come it has World War II landing craft still on it? I don't know. Belfast cruiser, very famous cruiser. You can see that on the River Thames to this day. Were used to soften up the defences along with a hell of a lot more other ships.